Welcome back to the Pilot's Grind. Go ahead and grab yourself a cup of Java and enjoy what you're about to see here on a whole series we're doing on innovation. This is our first in the series of videos that we're doing about innovation and some of the things we learned up at Oshkosh. We're going to start off with the switchblade from Redmond, Oregon. Now, I don't know about you, but as a kid, I don't know how many Popular Mechanics magazines I picked up and watched, and they always had something in there about the flying car. They had different pictures, and everybody was going to have a flying car, and we were going to have one and park it in our garage and drive out to the airport and then fly and go off somewhere. Well, you know, that dream has never died, and sure enough, the switchblade flying car was out at Oshkosh 2023 this year. So look, with any of these things innovation-wise, will they ever see the light of day? Well, some of them are already moving and flying, as you'll see in some of the other episodes. This one they've actually driven. They've actually gotten some speed under it. They, at least at Oshkosh, they had not called first flight yet. They had it off the ground, but not in a full flight mode with a traffic pattern or a full takeoff and landing, just, you know, kind of a up and then down, up and then down, up and then down out in the proving grounds. So it has been airborne, although they're not calling it first flight. But join me while I interview the founder. Again, the Switchblade out of Redmond, Oregon. You can go to their website. I would encourage you to do that. They've got some pretty cool videos on there. And you sign up for their email list and get updates about what's going on. If you like our channel, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to us. We're a brand new channel out there. We're trying to do some things in aviation that the other great, some of the fantastic aviation channels are not doing. So we're not going to try to replicate what they're doing. We're going to kind of take things some different directions. So again, grab yourself a cup of coffee, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and enjoy. Welcome, coffee drinking pilots. I am Ned Parks. After 45 years of military flying, running FBOs, flight schools, and flight instructing, I have learned about general aviation from multiple angles and have drank gallons of coffee in the process. So grind a bean, pour a cup, and learn something new about aviation.
Contact Cleveland Center 134.9er.
Well, we're still here at Oshkosh with Sam Boesfield, the founder, the inventor, the brains, and the passion behind the Switchblade, which is something I remember reading about, not this name, on Popular Mechanics magazines when I was a kid, the flying car. I mean, the idea's been around forever, but finally somebody's going to put it in the air, no pun intended. Sam, tell us just a few pieces about the airplane.
Well,
the
certainly.
car.
Yes.
The Switchblade. I don't know what to call it here.
It's like Superman. Is it a train or is it?
That's right.
Yeah, right. So the Switchblade was intended to be something that you could store in your garage. You keep it in your garage at home, and then you drive it to the nearest airport where you swing the wings out in about 3 minutes, and then take off and fly to the airport closest to your destination, land it. 3 minutes later, you're driving to your final destination, just the last few miles. And that way you get kind of the best of both worlds. You get the ability to fly when you want to, the ability to drive when you can't, or when that's better.
Some basic information, 2-seat, 4-seat, speeds, some of those sorts of things.
Sure, the Switchblade is a 2-seat, side-by-side vehicle. It's room for bags, golf clubs behind the seats, so it has a frunk or a front trunk where you can store more things. And it flies like a regular aircraft. You do have to have a private pilot's license. It flies 160 miles an hour estimated cruise speed. At top speed should be up close to 190. We'll see how close we can get it. But it's very fun to drive and fly. On the ground, we've had it over 125 miles an hour so far, nice and stable, which is really great. It's a three-wheeler, like you can see behind me. The three wheels is really the answer to what is the best layout for a vehicle that drives and flies, and it ended up being the three-wheel is the best layout for that kind of vehicle.
Now, in pilot terms, is this a retractable gear, or are they just down all the time as we see them sitting here?
It's down all the time as far as the wheels and tires, because the mechanisms for actually sucking it up would be so prohibitive. We already have extra weight because we have crumple zones in the front, crumple zones in the rear like a car, and we have side intrusion protection. Those things add up, and with carbon fiber you can kind of make up for it, but it's still extra weight.
It doesn't sound like from a speed standpoint that's going to be a big hindrance, is having the gear down all the time and
No, the
Probably a
aero,
lot safer anyway, right?
yeah, the aero guys, the aerodynamic engineers basically said, hey, we could do it, but you won't see that much of a gain, and it won't offset the weight penalty.
Yeah. And you've got it. You've done ground testing with it already,
Sure.
and flight testing yet?
Yeah, so ground testing, I already mentioned the speed, but we've tested this on Road and Track's standard slalom course, and we beat everything in our wheelbase, the distance between the front rear wheels, in their historical database.
Nice.
They had 4 wheels, we had 3, and they had pro drivers and near empty weight, and we had max gross weight, and I drove it. So really performs well. It's got the power weight of a Corvette,
Okay.
so it's really zippy on the
Wow,
ground.
sounds
Yeah.
like it. And has it been airborne at all?
We have gotten air under the tires multiple times.
Okay.
We're not calling first flight because what we've done is long hops.
Got it.
And that's not quite what we call a flight.
And when do you think that first flight will happen at altitude?
We were hoping to do it before we came here. So
Oh,
we'll
wow.
we'll go home now and that's our next
So you're right
operation.
on the edge.
Right on the edge.
And we can stay in touch through social media, I'm guessing. A
Facebook,
website. Yeah.
Twitter.
And keep track and at some point fill out an order form, right?
Yeah, you can do it now. There's no money to put a reservation in your name and nothing asked until we actually fly.
Okay.
And then even then it's refundable mostly until we're in production.
Nice. Very good. Sam, thank you so much. Appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
All right.